Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Power Automate Desktop training tutorial. My name is Vishal Bambrani, and in our session today, we will continue to learn the Excel actions provided by Power Automate Desktop. The actions that will be covered are inserting and deleting a column, inserting and deleting a row, adding and deleting a worksheet, and finally, resizing columns and rows in Excel worksheet. Let's see how we can make use of these actions to manipulate our data in our Excel file using Power Automate Desktop. But before starting implementation, I hope you all must have watched my previous videos covering few more Excel actions. Let's begin with our first action, which is inserting a new column to an Excel worksheet. As you can see in the screenshot below, it has two parameters under it. One is the Excel instance, and second is the column. I have mentioned their individual descriptions for you to refer. But first, let me show you the input file. So it contains this data. Let's say we want to insert a new column on the left of column B. Let me close this. First, let's launch our input file. Drag and drop this launch action. Select the specific document. Rest every property is same. Just to reiterate, I've already covered this launch Excel action in my previous video. As a good practice, let's close this Excel. Let's save this document. Now let's insert a column. Insert column to Excel spreadsheet. Now let's insert a new column before column B. Okay, let's quickly run this. So once our flow is completed, we will check our input file and see if it has added a new column for us. For execution is complete. Let's quickly check our input file. A new column has been inserted. See, it is so simple, right? Let me close this Excel. Our next action, which is delete column from Excel worksheet. It has two properties, Excel instance and delete column. First is the Excel instance to work with, and second is delete column. This is the index number or letter of the column to delete. Let's implement this in Power Automate Desktop. Let's disable this action and let's delete column from Excel worksheet. Now let's delete the same column which we added using insert column. Yes. Let's quickly run this. Once the execution is complete, we'll check our input file. Okay. Let's check our file. We inserted a new column at column B, which has been deleted now. Let me close this. Let's go to our next action, which is insert row to Excel worksheet. It has two properties, Excel instance and row index. First is the Excel instance to work with, and second is the row index, which is the index of the row to add a new row above. This means if we want to add a new row above row number 4, then we have to simply write row index as 4. Let me disable section. Simply write insert row to Excel worksheet, drag and drop. Now that we want to add a new row above row number 4, let's write here 4, click on save. Let's run this bot. Once the execution completes, we'll check our input file and see if a new row has been added or not. Our flow is executed. Let us check our input file. A new row has been added above row number 4. Let me save this file and close it. Let's go to our next action, which is delete row from Excel worksheet. It contains two properties, Excel instance and delete row. Excel instance, it is the instance of the Excel application you want to work with. And second is delete row, which is the index number of the row to delete. So disable this. In here, directions pane, search for delete row, drag and drop. And let's see, we want to delete row number 4. Let me run this. Once the flow executes, we'll check our input file again. The flow execution is complete. Let us check our input file. See, a new row was added above serial number 3. That has been deleted now. Let me close this file. Let's go to our next action, which is add a new worksheet. It contains 3 properties, as you can see in the screenshot. First is Excel instance. Here we have to specify the instance of the Excel we want to work with. Second is new worksheet name. Here we have to specify the name of the new worksheet. And third is add worksheet as. So in this, it gives us 2 options, whether we want to add this new worksheet as our first worksheet or as our last worksheet. Let's see how to implement this in PowerAutomate Desktop. Let me disable this action. And under Actions pane, simply type add new worksheet, drag and drop the action. Let's name our new sheet as new sheet, and let's add this worksheet as last worksheet. Click on save. Let me run this quick. So execution is started, and once it completes, we'll review the input file. Okay, let's review it. So a new sheet in the name of new sheet has been added. Let me close this file pretty quick. Let's go to our next action, which is delete Excel worksheet. It contains 4 properties. So the first is Excel instance. So here we have to specify the instance to work with again, and then delete worksheet with is the second property. So it gives us 2 options, whether we want to delete the worksheet using its name or its index. And third property is worksheet name. So if we have selected name to delete our worksheet with, then it will ask for the name of the worksheet. And if we go with the index, then it will ask for the index of the sheet we want to delete. Let me disable this action. Simply search for delete Excel worksheet. Drag and drop this action. And see, under delete worksheet with, it asks for either we want to delete with name or index. So if we go with the name, under worksheet name, let's give the name of the sheet we want to delete. Let's delete the new sheet which we recently added. Click on save. Let's run it. The flow execution is started. Let's review our input file as it is completed now. See, we added a new sheet in the name of new sheet, and now it's not present, which means our flow has deleted it. Now let's move to our last action in this session, which is resize columns or rows in Excel worksheet. Many a times in a business process, there are Excel files in which some columns have values that are not clearly visible. So in order to have a better visibility, this action offers us so many properties. I have mentioned the individual description for you all to refer. I'll cover each of them while we implement it. But before starting the implementation, I would like your attention towards our input file. Now, as you can see, we have a column email ID whose values are not clearly visible. So our task here would include resizing column D to have a better visibility. Let me quickly close this file and let's start the implementation. Let me disable this action and let's quickly drag and drop resize columns or rows actions. Excel instance variable is already selected. Under resize target, it gives us two options, either column or row. As per our need, we can choose this accordingly. Now, in our case, since we have to resize column D, let's select column as our option. Under selection range, it gives us three more options. One is single, second is range, and third is all available. If we go with the single, it means only single column will be resized. If we go with the second one, which is range, it gives us start column as a property and end column. It means here we have to give the start column index and here end column index. And if we go with the third option, which is all available, it means it will adjust all the available columns present in our input sheet. Now, since in our case, we have to adjust only a single column, let's go with the first option. Here, column index would be D. And the last property is resize type, which gives us two more options. First is the auto fit, and second is custom size. Now, auto fit means based on the values, the columns will be auto adjusted. And if we go with the second option, which is custom size, we have to manually enter the size of the column we want. It can be 20 pixels or 30 units, 40 units, 50 units as per our need. Now let's go with the first option, which is auto fit. Let's save this action. Now let's quickly run this flow and see if that column D is auto adjusted as per its values or not. We have started the flow execution. And once the flow executes, we'll quickly review our input file. Okay, the execution is completed. Let me open the input file for you. This value, kesha1@outlook.com, as compared to other values, this was a bit long, right? So based on this value, it has adjusted this column. So this marks the end of our module. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would request you all to subscribe my channel for more videos. Also, I've listed down some suggested videos as well as the ones next in line for your ease. Cheers.